Photos of Mount Fuji. We've all seen them, but for me, just looking at them wasn't enough. I wanted to take my own photo, set it as a wallpaper and feel proud of. But it didn't really go as planned. Stick around to see what went wrong, whether I managed to take my dream photo, and my top tips for your visit. The plan was a day trip from Tokyo to Kawaguchiko. I know, it's one of the most touristy places to see the mountain from. And booking train tickets months in advance wasn't really my thing. So I did some research and I found out that there is also a bus to there. And it's cheaper and more flexible, so I booked a ticket for the next day. This is the website I used. And don't worry, there's an English version too. As a product designer, I always noticed how websites are designed. But I'll save those comments for another video. The next day, I got here, the bus stop. It felt a bit strange. I wasn't sure if that's the correct stop and how the bus would look like, but it came on time and it was half empty. So the driver assigned each one of us a specific seat, and halfway through we stopped for a short break. The final stop was a small parking area close to Kawaguchiko station, away from the big crowds. And surprise, surprise, cloudy skies, no Mount Fuji. But it might clear up later. I walked a few minutes to this place, the most photographed Lawson in Japan. The mountain was not visible, but people were still taking photos. There was no snow at the peak at this time of the year, so even if it was visible, it wouldn't have looked as cool as the photos I had seen. Honestly, I didn't expect clouds at all, and I also didn't really have a backup plan. Part of my initial plan was visiting Uishi Park to see the kuchia fields, something I had never seen before. On photos, they look very soft and fluffy. But getting there would take time, and I was risking to miss my bus back to Tokyo. Staying overnight wasn't really an option. Instead, while waiting, I decided to take a train to Chureito Pagoda. But before that, station stamp. I took a train. One thing I noticed in Japan is that vacant seats are marked with red, and those that are taken are actually green. Interesting core observation, right? A few minutes later, I was at the train station, and I had to walk about 20 minutes to get there. So I followed the other people, and soon the stairs began. Usually I don't mind stairs, but these are no joke. Finally at the top. Luckily there was a bench to rest on. Fun thing, there are not so many benches in Japan, despite all the stairs everywhere. If you know anything about that, please let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Still no Fuji, just clouds. But at least there was the pagoda. And in that moment, I imagine doing this on the video. Going down was faster. I bought this little Mount Fuji figure to keep it as a memory. And then I took this vintage looking train back to Kawaguchiko. And to my surprise, the sky started to clear. And finally, I took my drone photo. It's not exactly what I imagined, but it's unique and it brings me great memories. Okay, tips time. Number 1. If you're on a budget, take the bus. It's cheaper and more flexible. Number 2. If you can, spend 2 or 3 days, because 1 day is absolutely not enough, especially if you want to see the surroundings without rushing. And finally, number 3. Whether you see Mount Fuji or not, just make sure to enjoy yourself. Like, subscribe, and share your best tips for visiting Mount Fuji down in the comments. See you in the next one.